Near Future E3. Warrior Publications Incorporated. Copyright 2023 by Jennie Moench. All rights reserved, including the right of reproduction in whole or in part in any form. ISBN 978-0-9854905-7-7. You're only old once E3. The butler reappeared and reminded Millie of her competition. So, she excused herself, leaving the two women alone. She was hoping that the grumpy Deborah might soften up a bit if she had the chance to talk with Carol. She just hoped that their discussion didn't include Larry. Deborah's revelations were disturbing and now Millie couldn't get the idea out of her head. Could Larry be a stalker? Could he have become interested in the two women when he first moved in, then found them online to terrorize them? This idea was very unnerving to Millie, as she had developed a fondness for him. She tried to put the matter out of mind when she clicked on the link that brought her to the Sports Emporium, where her match was being held. She hadn't noticed her Monopoly Man host lately, which suited her just fine. She really didn't like him since she became aware that she was participating in a gambling ring. But, her winnings were real and she did enjoy the competitions. When her name was announced, Freya took her mark, then slowly rotated 360 degrees, bowing to each corner, while the crowd cheered. She felt especially inspired to win, as she had done so miserably at her last match. Her competitor this time was a giant baby, wearing what looked to her as a dirty diaper. It was gross, but the crowd laughed and hollered at the big baby. He waddled around in a circle with a giant pacifier in his mouth. What a vile sense of humor, she thought as she watched the spectacle. Then, waving a red scarf, she noticed her Dark Knight in the crowd. This made her happy. She wondered what romantic place he would take her to after the games. She did well against the big baby, beating him the first two games. He immediately fell to his knees and began wailing in a melodramatic way. Freya wondered if his appearance in the match was more about entertaining the crowd than darts. Her next competitor was more of a challenge. It was wearing a suite made of lights and she did find the multicolored lasers that it emitted distracting. She lost their second and third games, which was enough to put her out of championship round, but she did win the third set of games, anyway. I think your second competitor's choice in lighted apparel should have disqualified him, the Dark Knight complained, in his stuffy English accent, after she had left the platform and joined him in the crowd. Freya responded with a shrug. She truly was just happy to see the knight, she enjoyed his company. So, where should we be off to tonight? He asked, offering her his holographic arm. Wherever you'd like, she smiled, carefully laying her gloved hand on the arm of her metal-coated suitor. She allowed him to attach her avatar to his, and then, they disappeared together. When they reappeared they were on the beach of a tropical island, facing what looked like the Pacific Ocean with brilliant blue water and a few mountainous islands in the distance. Marvelous, she cooed softly. They turned and faced a green jungle with sandy paths winding between palmetto bushes. He led her to the heart of the little island, where a tall waterfall tumbled into a small lagoon. How lovely. Lovely, yes, but let me take you to a magical place, the Dark Knight hinted before leading her through the waterfall and to the caverns that were hidden behind the wall of water. It was dark, but lit by giant, multicolored, clusters of crystals. Freya gasped. He led her through the labyrinth of lighted trails that took them higher and higher up the mountain, until they reached its summit. The sky opened up and from the top and they could see the lagoon and jungle below them with a bright, electric sky above them. Misty sprays of water from the falls captured light, causing a rainbow effect. Amazing, she cried from the top of island. She was transfixed by the water and the reflections. Say, let's jump, she shouted above the roar of the falls, before leaping. The knight hesitated, but jumped after her. They both fell to the lagoon laughing. It was an exhilarating experience.